these characters? These aren't my characters.
What's up, everybody? It's Cliff. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Season 2 of Adventures from Amethil. I just booted up Fantasy Grounds, which means that the players are just now opening up Fantasy Grounds.
I'm confused.
What are you up to?
So it's going to be good.
Characters aren't there.
So, I don't have a recap that I'm going to do this time. Just for the fact that it's an entire season, and we'd have to recap the whole thing. So I actually do want to do a recap video that will catch everybody up to where we are right now. But that's not going to be today. So today, we're going to jump directly into Season 2 of Adventures from Amethil, and I'm going to hit this button and start the intro.
Adventures from Amethil.
All right. So, has everybody opened up Fantasy Grounds?
Mine
I'm
won't
trying
connect.
to. Yeah, mine too.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Well, we will wait for Melissa and for Sin. Looks like Lissa's in.
Am I?
I don't see my jockey poo.
It says you are connected.
I think that's the point, John.
I'm definitely
I
not.
think that's the point.
Still waiting.
Nope.
Having a good time.
What are you guys doing?
Ooh, it might be loading.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did say Draki Poo, yeah. That nickname is now canon.
I can live with this.
That's what Vakta calls him.
In the 5 years that have passed, that's what everybody calls him now.
King jockey poo.
Not
He
even
just
king.
went super soft in his time.
They don't even call you king. You guys have got so close and, informal
buddy.
with one another that it's just Draki Poo. Like, hey! They're
Demon
like,
Slayer.
hey,
Rocky
VD! And you're like, no, don't call me that. You're not going by VD.
No.
Hey, Sin.
I'm trying.
What you doing, buddy?
Try harder.
It says connecting.
He's
Where's
communicating
Ta?
with a series of potatoes.
Where's
Right.
Ta?
There are a lot of questions that you guys probably have.
Great fucking question.
Yeah, like where the fuck is Ta?
I'm just gonna keep clicking on this until it opens.
He recast us between seasons.
I told you guys it was getting
my
too
Grims?
expensive.
Where's my Grims?
All right, I know video froze before anybody says anything. And now video should be unfroze. It did. So, Sin, are you in yet?
Nope.
Are you at like the loading
trying.
please wait screen?
Nope. Still IP or the host address. Trying to start it.
Oh, because I was
clicked-
able to connect right away.
The one you gave me last time where it was just like the IP numbers, I
Uh-huh.
clicked on that one to give it a shot and it's downloading files.
Yeah, that's the one I had to use.
Thanks for telling me.
Hey man,
Yeah.
season 2, all new stuff.
Figured you'd figure it out.
Oh,
I'm the
figured
dumb
it.
one here. Come on.
All new stuff for season 2, guys. Yay! New ways to connect and stuff.
Oh, is that what
I
it is?
figured it. That's what I
Okay, I think I am in.
Oi, smoke in my lungs. Okay, so let me as soon as I get the dumbfounded reaction from Sin, then we'll know that we're good.
Kind of hard to act dumbfounded once everyone was like, "Where is them?" I didn't expect mine to be there.
For
Okay.
some reason, he can see all the characters and it's all normal. He's like, "What are you guys talking about?"
So all you guys
None
can
of it is
see,
authentic.
all you guys can see is a list of characters, names, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tonight, let me hold on. Let me set the mood, baby. Tonight, we start our adventure far away from Aragus, on a celestial plane in the astral dominion of the cosmos. You four are an elite group of Bard, known collectively as the Companions of the Silver String. Your sole objective is to protect and uphold the service of Agma, the binder of what is known. Ancrium the Wise, the first of the Trusted Four, said to have been the only person who could match wits with Agma on the material plane when he still roamed with mortals. Divanya the Affable, with the ability to end century-long wars with words alone. Kariana the Brave, defended a temple for a week with no food and no backup to protect ancient knowledge that it possessed. And Terwin the Devote, mastered the word of Agma by age 5 and mastered the understanding of Agma's teachings by age 10. They were all handpicked to protect everything that Agma stands for, and all of them forsook their mortal lives for the sake of knowledge. I want each of you to claim one of these people.
I like how we didn't discuss it. We just started picking.
Yeah.
I was just waiting
Okay.
for the description. I knew what I was gonna pick. Fuck you guys.
I guess that would be the smart one. Awesome.
Oh,
I'm
good.
brave.
And I'm the convincing one. This will only go great.
Yeah, I'm the brave one. This is not gonna go well.
Called together for the first time in centuries, you find yourselves in a familiar setting, yet one you have never set foot in. But, regardless of that, you seem to know every detail of it. Surrounded by 100-foot bookshelves, filled with ancient knowledge, forbidden tomes freely float through the air, and relics and rarities decorate every inch. You walk the floor with the feeling of magic from this divine realm coursing through your every fiber. You find yourself inside the House of Knowledge. You all approach a large throne. You guys can approach if you want to.
Which one am I? Hold on.
Don't know who I am.
Which one am I?
Am I this one?
Appropriate with me being the
All of
first.
them. That could be me.
Oh, there we go. Zoom down.
How do we know, Cliff?
You should only be able to really move yours, I think.
I just moved like 2 of them.
Oh,
Your
so
character
if
sheet
you
is-
double click on it, you can see who it is, and if you click on the combat tracker, you should be able to see that too.
No.
Oh,
Open up the
I'm
characters a
the,
little
of course
profile.
I'm that one. Okay,
Right.
I got it.
Set as active piece. Okay, there
Hi, elf. Oh,
we go.
You guys are being big babies.
Play a high elf. How dare you?
I'm fine
oh.
with any kind of elf. I'm fine with.
Bob is typing something and I don't even want to hear it.
I stopped someone from moving. My bad.
No, Bob. I just don't like having a stick up my ass.
So we chose a dwarf.
No, it's just a literal stick because it got picked up from the ground.
Yeah, that's true. So you approach a large throne with an equally large yet frail-looking man sitting upon it. He smiles at you and stands to greet you. Ancrium, Divanya, Kariana, Terwin. It's so nice to see each of you. I know it has been many, many years since we've had direct contact, since we've spoke, since we've seen one another. and I appreciate you all coming on such short notice. And he walks up and he gives everybody a hug. And Agma is about 12 feet tall, but he has the proportions of a high elf. He's thin, slightly hunched over, long beard, very soft-spoken. And after he greets you all, his face kind of changes from this jovial, happy look to a more serious tone. As you are all aware, in the 2 years since Orcus ascended to the material plane, there has been a great shift in the cosmos, one that I have yet to see in this entirety of this cosmos' existence. The blood war between the demons and devils has escalated to new heights, as the creatures of the abyss scratch and claw for Orcus's position in his time of weakness. Their vile acts know no bounds, and the veil between the abyss and the material plane is tearing at the seams. This, finally, has the attention of the Celestials, who are dispatching solars and even archangels to prevent further breaches, but in doing so, also are stretching themselves thin. The cataclysms on Erebus have awoken ancient beings better left to rest, and beasts long thought extinct roam the lands once again. While all of this tilts the scales of balance, the biggest threat to come from all of this, and the reason that I have gathered you all together, is because of and he stops. And his eyes dart to a giant door that you guys came through as you guys all turn. There's a bit of a silence for a second, and then the big doors creak open as a robed figure walks in. I hope that I'm not intruding, he says, as he pulls back his hood, revealing a golden mask in the likeness of a jackal. We will have to continue this conversation later, I'm afraid, as we have an uninvited guest. Agma looks down the way. I know what you are, but I'm interested to know how you managed to make it onto this plane, let alone inside these sacred walls. There's a bit of a silence as the figure keeps walking closer towards you guys. He slowly starts to drop his robe, and as he does, he's standing there displaying his body, which is carved with runes and symbols and glistening with magic. And as he's approaching, he's wearing nothing except for his mask and amulet, and he's carrying what appears to be a large walking stick. Well, getting here was the easy part. With such a cosmic threat being unleashed, I knew it would only be a matter of time before you brought the band back together again to protect your precious book collection. Terwin, being the good boy that he is, was more than happy to share your teachings to, well, anyone that was willing to listen. When you summoned him forth, I simply followed. As far as how I'm still alive, despite your wards, you'd be surprised to know just how close some of the demons were to bringing their war to your doorstep. Don't worry, I took care of that threat. You're welcome. And as far as your guards, he strikes the floor with the end of his walking stick, causing a giant blade to emanate from the top, humming with unholy energy, dripping red with blood. For them, I took a more direct approach.
Motherfucker.
And for why I'm here, which I'm assuming is going to be your next question. I want something from you. It's something that you're unable to give me, but something that I am able to take. You and the rest of your power gluttonous gods sat around and watched as the evil crept from the shadows and into power. You watched as good people were struck down, oftentimes in your name, because they didn't believe in what you wanted them to, or because they challenged your thoughts. We mortals suffered, while you pricks lived in your temples built upon our blood. Well, I feel it's time for you to give up your seat and let someone new sit upon that throne. All of you. The time has come for a new era of gods to give a fresh take on the world. But it starts with you. I'd like you all to roll for initiative.
Cool.
So the jackal takes off, running towards you with the scythe cocked over his head. And I guess it's only appropriate that Terwin goes first.
All right.
So, some things about these characters. They are bards, but they are a special variant of bards. They have given up most of their power for a set of strengths that they currently have. They have no limit on how many times they can cast their spells, but they are very limited to the spells that they do have.
Okay. Well, let's see here. There we go. Tywin steps forward and casts Dominate Monster.
Damn, no words or nothing. You're just gonna go do that, huh?
No.
So as you begin to sing your song, you see this magical swirl around him, and as you see it touch his body, it sort of shatters, almost as if he was running through a puff of smoke, and you see his body glisten a bit as he continues to run forward at you.
All right, that was standard action. Yeah, when he sees that, he's just gonna kind of like step back, like, oh shit. It just kind of like takes out his flail and gets ready for the next attack.
All right. And the jackal just continues to charge. Devanya. And for the record, to anybody in chat, the players had no idea this was going to happen today.
You can tell by the confused looks on all of our faces.
Yeah, I'm looking at these like spells. I've never played a spell cast.
Where's my sneak attack?
What do you mean I only have one weapon? I carry like 20.
Jake, are you talking?
If you're talking, you're muted.
Motherfucker. So for spells, do I like check off one of the spell slots if I'm going to cast that level? And then...
Yes.
Normally, yes, but for these ones, you don't have to, as they have no spell limit.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So Divania is going to kind of stand her ground, put out one hand, and just yell, "Halt!" and cast Otto's Irresistible Dance. Oh, didn't mean to hit that twice.
And I believe for that one, there's no actual check or anything. It just happens, doesn't it?
Yes. It looks
And then on its turn, it gets to do a check. Yeah. So as you hold your hand out and say halt, he continues running towards you, but you notice like his disposition starts to change, and you see him start doing this ridiculous dance.
Oh my God.
And he kind of like groans out. And he as he's running towards you with this stupid little jig that he's doing. I have no issues with you four. You can leave here and keep your lives, or you can stay and have them cut down. And Agma, he approaches closer to where you guys are all at. And as he does, he's got his hands on this like walking cane, and he whistles. And as he whistles, from behind his throne, this sword comes out, this flaming sword, and it flies next to him, and it kind of hovers in place. I assure you that this course that you are trying to take is one that will only end in your death. Turn back now.
Ancrium steps between Agma and the jackal. He looks at him. Please let us deal with this. And pulls out his sword and flicks it with his wrist, and a golden sword comes out of it and flying at the jackal, just like Agma's.
And as it does, like, while he's kind of dancing, he kind of dips to the side a bit, and the sword just flies through, and then it loops back around next to where he's at.
That's it.
And Kariana.
Alright. Kariana's gonna. I'm still looking at these spells like, okay, she doesn't have many.
Mhm.
Skills. Terrible skills. How far is he? Seeing that clearly Akma's in danger, she's going to run forward her full speed, 30, and take a swing with her sword at the jackal. 'Cause all these spells suck. Okay.
What?
I can't use any of them at this exact moment because none of them would make sense or work.
That is a hit.
Haha. Which this is okay. This is woo. Like I'm just like,
Take that.
okay.
Yeah, so as you rush forward, you stab at him, and as he's kind of dancing, he just like almost like puts himself in front of it, and you stab him. And as soon as you stab him, he stops dancing and he looks at you. And you just see in his eyes this malice.
His attention's on me and not Agma. Woo.
You should have had advantage on that, by the way.
I should have.
I mean, either
Yeah.
way, he.
I mean, I hit anyway.
Either way, yeah.
Also, for the record, the effects of that spell would actually have to be affecting the jackal for that to be true.
Well, Lottie frickin' da.
Oh.
So yeah. So as you hit him, he immediately stops dancing and he looks at you, and he reaches forward and he grabs you by your shirt. Can you do a dexterity save? I forgot to target you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can. That's...
So he grabs you, and then the next thing you know, you are seeing the floor from the ceiling as you're plummeting towards it. As you're hit for 15 bludgeoning damage as you slam into the tile floor, knocking you prone. And you see the jackal's attention is still focused forward. Turwin, your turn.
Turwin goes, let's try this again. Oh, shit. I clicked twice. The first one.
He saved against the first one. He saved against both of them.
Yeah. That's
Oh my god.
Yeah, he steps back again. And he's done.
And the jackal's still making his run towards everyone. Cariana can make a attack of opportunity against him at disadvantage if you want.
Yeah, sure.
So go ahead and click that disadvantage and then go ahead and do that attack.
Ha!
I mean, you're laying on the ground and like you're trying as best you can to get another swing off with this short sword, but he is just moving so fast, he just dodges right past. He runs to where everybody is at, and he looks at you guys, and again he says, "This is your last chance to step aside." And he looks in the three of you that are standing there's eyes for confirmation. Is everybody holding stead?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna get up, but...
Assume yes.
Okay. He cocks back in like a full baseball swing with this scythe. And he cuts right into Turwin with a single shot blow. And as it does, you see this wound open up. And it just has this completely like already infected look to it. As it's like bright red around the edges. And he screams in pain. And he twirls the blade back and he takes another swing. And Ankrim, you're able to dodge underneath it after seeing what he did to the first one, and he just follows through right over to the right. Wow. And Devanya, you're struck with one of them. And then he curls it back, and he comes down on a downward angle swing.
Jesus Christ.
And this time, Ankrium's not able to dodge out of the way. And every time he hits, you're seeing like the area where he was stabbed at, the wounds just seal themselves up. Devanya, your turn.
This is Vardrak's fault.
Vardrak don't know them.
Oh, my turn. Sorry. Let me see. Object must be neither worn nor carried. Damn it. Or the object into a creature. Okay. Wonder what would happen if I tried to polymorph the life cutter. That doesn't seem like a bad idea at all, right?
Not to me.
Gonna try to turn the life cutter into a fish.
Okay.
Why was I just thinking fish?
It should have a if you.
Did that not work?
No, it looks like you polymorphed yourself somehow.
God.
You are now a fish. No, do the. There should be a button you could check for the save, I believe.
The only button I have is for the effect.
Okay, so it just has the effect. All right, so
And it's only affects self.
Oh.
no, I mean that's not the case, but unwilling creatures can make a wisdom saving throw. All right, so what is your spell save DC? So 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your casting modifier.
Where do I find those?
Bar level.
Main menu. The main screen. 8 plus 6 plus whatever your charisma is.
5.
So 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
So as you do it, you see like the magic shimmer all across the life cutter, and you see like the magic like glistening, and it like slowly stops, and you see it all get sucked into the blade.
Neat.
Now it's got the soul of a fish.
Cool.
Be a sick ass
Jackal's
fish.
like, that smell.
Like I cut one of you and. Divine, you doing anything else on her turn?
I don't think she can. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. And
Beautiful, man.
yeah, Ogma like yells out with this booming voice that you haven't heard from Manel. That is enough. And as he does, this burst of energy shoots out from him.
Is it a heel?
And the burst of energy hits the jackal, and you see the jackal's the glistening off of his body like flicker with this orange energy, and you see the fire that shoots out just get sucked into it.
Can you not? Still blame Broderick.
And then he just points his hand forward like in a shooting motion, and as he does, you see the sword dart forward towards the jackal.
Damn.
And it like cuts into him, and then it dips back, and it darts forward again at him. And the jackal just takes the life cutter and smacks the sword, and you see it like tilt, tink, hit off the ground, and then it flies back up and reignites.
picturing some like flaming sword version of the like red whistle thing from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking the same thing.
And Ankrim, it is your turn.
Not saying anything, he just takes out his long sword and swings at this guy.
And as you do, he just knocks it to the side with his scythe.
That's it.
All right. And Kariana, it is your turn.
All right, so standing after being prone is half your movement, right?
Correct.
I can only move 15 feet. So I'm gonna move here. And they can't hit him with any... What is this? Nope. Nope. That's all I do.
And as you run to him, he turns over his shoulder and he sees you're there. And he's like, enough of this. And he takes a life cutter and he like thrusts it to the air and he grabs the bottom of it with one hand and he spins himself into a circle. And as he does, this arc of energy shoots out in a circle.
Cool.
One second, I need to see distance here. 10 feet. All right, cool.
This is fine.
Great.
But
Whoo.
And as he does, all of these marks on his naked body that you guys have done from the sword slicing into him and everything, you just see start to heal back up.
Oh, good.
Eat.
it's got this.
Hey.
Makes me feel real good.
And Turwin gets strike down from that. And he's kind of down and he's waning and he's looking back up. And the jackal looks to you and says, I do not regard you as foe. And though you may consider me different, I appreciate you leading me here. And as he says that, he turns and he looks at Agma. And he strikes him once, and as he strikes him, he cocks back, and you see this explosion of energy radiate off of the blade of this, and he strikes down, and when he does, this cacophony of just force shoots back. Actually knocks your guys' hair back. And he twirls it around, and he comes back with another hit. And follows through, hitting him in the leg. And by this time, like, you're looking at this frail man whose robes have been cut, who's still standing there despite all of the force that he was just given. Devanya.
Is Agma within range? Yeah, 5 feet. I can probably... I can touch Agma from where I am, right?
Yeah.
Going to grant Agma foresight. Not the jackal, motherfucker.
Foresight, Agma already has it as all of you have foresight passively.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Then never mind. Can you take that off the jackal so he also doesn't have it?
Nah, the jackal now has foresight. Thank you. He appreciates your donation.
I was trying to be helpful, god damn it. I I guess I'm gonna hit him with my stick. Either that or try to polymorph him again, but I don't think that'll work. Let me see. What does this do? Would these characters know anything about the jackal specifically?
Give me an insight check.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So Devanya is great on being able to entertain and hold conversations and even beguile with words, but her study of like ancient artifacts, things like that, are probably most limited out of all four.
Okay. I'm gonna try something. It's probably not gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. Oh, there's no ability, so I guess I'm just gonna declare what I'm doing. Using Mirage Arcane. Can I make it look like there's a cage around the jackal?
I don't think that's privy of its abilities. I think it's to more look like the surroundings change.
Well, it said on here, where'd it go? You can alter the appearance of structures or add them where none are present. It doesn't disguise, conceal, or add creatures, but that's why like a barred cage around him. I would.
Yeah. Then I'll say that works well then. So what does she do? How does she cast it? What's it look like? Does she have any witty response that she says to him?
Not really. She's kind of just trying to focus, because most of her magical ability, like you said, is mostly focused around entertaining and performing, and this doesn't really seem like a situation that she would need to use a lot of theatrics, so she's just kind of like raising her arms up and like making like a throwing down motion as if she were like dropping bars on a roof on top of his head.
Okay. Yeah, and as you do it, you hear like this loud clatter of metal hitting the tile. Ching ching! And he like looks around. And he kind of looks at you as he twirls the life cutter around. Anything else you're doing?
I can't move away without taking a strike, right? Because I'm so close.
You can't move further than 15 feet away. But you can move within that range if you wanted to.
No, I'm done.
All right. And Agma reaches down and he touches Terwin.
Reach out and touch face.
And he's like, "You have more work to do, my friend." And then as he does that, like over his head, you see the sword dart back out after the jackal.
Holy
God
shit.
dang.
Yeah, and as it strikes into him, you just see this large gash open up across his chest, and you see like the glistening of magic kind of flicker a bit over him. No fucking way.
Jesus.
Fuck you.
And the sword comes back the other way, and it opens him up, kind of spilling blood over his body.
Get the trouble.
You come into my house, my sanctity, threaten my people. Ankrium, your turn.
He does a swing with his sword, but it looks like he's clearly trying to make himself miss. Then, in the same motion that he's swinging his sword, you see the spiritual sword that he summoned earlier, almost mimicking him and striking the jackal from the back. Never mind.
Yeah, so he's like got his arms across his chest, and he like turns his head at the last second, and he ducks back, and you see the sword swoop through. And as he does, he takes like the hilt of his scythe, and he kind of goes like this at the bars, and it goes right through him. So you hear him sort of, the two of you in front of him hear him chuckle slightly under his breath. And Kariana, your turn.
Oh, she's just gonna run up the rest of the way and swing again. And hopefully hit. Why did it roll 2? I shouldn't still be at disadvantage. You still have prone on me.
Yeah, I do. The other one would have been an 11 plus 12 would have been a 23, which I believe hits. Yeah, that hits.
Cool. Neat.
Yeah, so the sword comes through, and like as he's standing back up, he feels the blade across his back, and as he turns, he looks, and Kariana is now standing in the cage with him.
Whoop. Cool. I'm
So he said,
brave.
You are.
This is what I meant to do.
And he kind of laughs, and he looks over to Devanya. He's like, a fascinating parlor trick. As he grabs his blade again, and he spins in a circle at everybody near him.
Oh, God damn it.
Yep.
Wait, can we talk about this?
knocking Terwin back down to the ground.
I'm up. I'm down.
Yeah.
I got it. I don't got it.
And as he does, 1, 2, so 27. Hold on.
Don't worry, guys. I got this. I'll make him dance himself to death.
Yes.
I believe in you.
Brr, 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 brr. All right. Give me a death saving throw manually, please, Terwin.
Anyways. I'll just uncheck one of those. There we go.
That's fine. And the jackal like drops his shoulder and he charges at one of the bars, going right through it. And as he does, he comes through here and basically nudges you out of the way slightly, pushes through, and he just cleaves down, seemingly ignoring you guys.
Wait, but there was metal there. Haha.
So he's
Christ.
swinging down at this guy and striking him with every hit. And finally, Agram picks his hand up, and as he does, the sword flies into it, and he blocks one of the strikes just as the fourth one comes through and cuts him. 26, 37, 28. 45. Bitch. Okay, 30. All right. Devanya, your turn.
Little dance, make a little love.
Get
Get
down
down
tonight.
Well,
Bitch dance.
dance, magic dance. I guess I'm just gonna try to make a dance again.
Okay. As you cast it this time, you see the same effect where it hits him and it kind of absorbs into this glisten that's on his body. But this time he doesn't even humor you with a dance.
Oh.
He seems laser focused right now.
Yep, I guess I'm done. I don't have any way to do anything else.
Yeah, so you do that, you see it absorb into him, and without even hesitating again, he grabs the hilt of his blade and spins in a circle.
I made him dance too much. Sorry, guys.
Right, Devanya.
Oh.
Turin, you okay, buddy?
And and Agma, he like pushes himself backwards, and there's this like force of energy as he flies. And when he does, he lands and he throws his arms out, and you see this wall just appear, this glistening, almost glass-like wall. And as the jackal walks towards it, he like reaches through this glass, and as it does, you just see like these little blades just start cutting at his arm as he pulls back. So is this how it's gonna be, old man? You want me to kill your children while you stand back there and watch? And as he says that, he looks down at Turwin. And as he does, he just sticks a blade right into Turwin's chest and pulls it out.
Doesn't that seem a little excessive?
He's already dead.
That's a big.
Actually, he has one more death save.
Oh no.
And Ancrium's there, like sort of like reaching out towards his fallen comrade as they both lie there. Kariana's turn.
You skipped me. Jackson went and then you skipped me.
Oh, well, your turn then, bro. Sorry about that. I don't know how I managed that. Also, thank you for the resub.
Thanks for the resub. I skipped your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot going on right now, guys. We're trying to manage.
Um. duh. I'm trying to go through her features and see if there's anything that I could do to try to get him to stop.
And for the record, I love this music right now.
It's both creepy and soothing. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Much like your emery board there, Melissa.
Sorry. I'm fidgety, so I'm crafting while we do this.
I guess I'll use Bardic Inspiration on Agma before I do also die.
Okay. And how many die is that at your level?
The creature gains 1 inspiration die, d6.
I feel like your inspiration die is way more than d6 at that level. It is a d12.
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
A d12, and I can use that feature number of times equal to my charisma modifier.
Which is
So I can
5.
use that 5 times. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so you look over to him, and you close your eyes, and you put your hand out, and you basically give him your aura for the moment. Kariana, your turn.
It's all you.
Yeah, apparently. My one hit point.
More than enough.
Ooh. See, the only thing I know about this character is that she defended the books and artifacts for days straight without help, and so all I can imagine is she just keeps fighting until she can't. So I guess I will move up and swing again and just
Okay.
fuck this guy.
Ooh.
Woo!
That is a hit.
See that big
Yay!
damage.
I'll do 6 damage this time.
Oh yeah! Do I have to hit shift for that? Or does it automatically do it with a
It'll
crit?
automatically do it.
Cool. I haven't gotten an automatic crit in a while. Yeah, 15, guys. Ooh.
Poked him just
As you do, he turns and looks at you, and he just shakes his head.
Oh.
Give me an athletics or an acrobatic check, one of the two.
I'll do acrobatics.
Okay.
Okay.
And he like reaches out to grab you, but you dodge out of the way of it.
Bitch.
Hey!
You hear from the ground, you hit like a bitch.
So the jackal, he takes out the scythe, he strikes you down, and he reaches down and grabs you by the ankle. And as he does, in a swinging motion, he swings and he throws you through the wall that was created.
Also seems like a bit much.
Hey, Agma. Stop.
And you auto fail that deck save. And as her body gets tossed through it, you just see all these like cuts and lacerations appear, and as she hits the ground, she's basically just sopping in blood.
Tasty.
And like without wasting a moment, he puts his hands up and he charges through. And you see his arms getting all cut up. And he just cleaves down.
I think we've convinced him that he has the upper hand. Now it's the time to strike.
Yes, perfect.
Great plan. Should let us
Don't worry,
know.
guys. I got this. I don't got this.
And it's every strike that he hits on Agma, you start seeing some of these smaller cuts and everything to start healing up. Devanya, it is your turn. Keep in mind that there is a wall of blades right here.
Got this.
Mm-hmm.
And for the record, they go 60 feet long and 100 feet tall, so it goes
Ah.
basically up to the ceiling.
Good. Very good. Man, why isn't this Jack of all trades as good as the one in Carps? Let's see. What would that do?
I had my mic muted, but I thought you should know that Bob found that funny.
Okay, hold on. No. That won't do anything. Sorry. No, that's just that. I was trying to see if I had any kind of like healing anything, but it does not appear that I do. She's not even strong, so it's not like I can try to get the bodies out of there. There's like jack all I can do. Can I try to do like a bardic performance to try to get him to like stumble backwards into the blade wall?
Is that a thing?
I can just do a performance check.
Yeah, go ahead and do a performance check.
Sweet. I love
Everyone's
half-assing
dying.
my way into a reasonable explanation. Damn it.
Oh boy. I don't know if he's gonna buy it.
Challenged by perception.
Jesus.
He's like, I've seen better.
He kind of just looks over his shoulder as he's like swinging. We'll say that was a bonus action if there's anything else you want to do.
Gonna drink this beer to stall.
I didn't even realize Sin froze in like the most awkward positioning. Look at his hand.
I gotta.
Oh, he fixed it.
Damn it. He fixed it, but then he swapped positions with Melissa.
You're dead now.
Everybody.
Wait.
He switched positions with everybody.
We're all dead.
Well, I guess I just gonna move over here and stabilize one of them to maybe try to pull them out next turn?
Yeah, sure. You could do a medicine check on either one of them that you want.
That one. Sure. Medicine. There. Sure don't.
He's making it worse.
No, I got this. She like reaches down, tries to like pick up the blood and just like put it back in the body, just panicking. She's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, like as you walk over there and you see this wound, like the cut on him is not like any cut you've ever seen before. Like the damages that this has done look like they're on like a cellular level. It doesn't even appear that it's like a flesh wound at this point.
She's just sobbing uncontrollably at this point.
And as you do that, you just hear the jackal continue swinging, cleaving into Agma, or Agma rather. And Agma, he sort of looks down to you all, and he just says, "Save yourselves while you can."
All one of us that's conscious.
And he heals Kariana.
Probably a better choice.
Thanks.
And with that, he grabs his sword and begins this melee combat with the jackal.
Ooh.
I have a feeling we were meant to lose this one, guys.
You think?
All right. And hey,
Not dead yet.
not yet.
Am I fully alive?
I feel happy.
You're like half health now.
And Kariana, you feel the life rush back into your body for a moment as Agma looks down and says, save yourself.
Can I make it back through this blade wall without hurting myself? Probably can't, right?
Save yourself.
It's possible.
I want to go save my friends.
Do it.
Don't actually move me there. I don't want to move there.
Okay. So the wall's only 60 feet long. I mean, you could make the trip around it if you wanted to. Or you could, duck down and barrel through it if you really want to try to. She's the brave, not the stupid, though. If you're talking, you're muted.
No, I'm not.
Now you're not.
I never was.
I mean, your lips were moving. Either that or you were just pantomiming a phrase.
Thank you, Duff. Full speed of 30 would get me here going around.
You're still cutting through that way.
No, it's right there. It says 25, but it'd be going to the square here and then down, and that on.
Okay.
Do that.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to, you could do, like, the dash action to use your 30 to get towards everybody again, too.
Do I have that?
Yeah, everybody has that.
Everyone has, yeah.
Cool, then yes. 5, 10.
Go ahead. Yeah, wherever you want to go to.
Yeah.
Just everyone else has to use it as a standard, like you fucking
Yeah.
robes.
Do you want to attempt a medicine check to stabilize your friend?
I
might as
I
well.
can attempt that.
I'm fine.
I can attempt.
Oh god.
The chances of you making it worse are very low. Not
I'm gonna-
impossible, but very
you
low.
want me to,
Medicine
you want me
check.
to target or roll or just roll?
You could just roll.
Okay. I only have a -2 modifier. How bad can it be?
Hey.
Not awful.
Yeah, so
Medicine modifier.
So you stabilize Terwin to 0 hit points. He
Yay!
doesn't have to make death saves now, but he's all right. So Terwin, it is your turn. You are stable, but basically dead.
Conscious?
You are conscious, yes.
Um,
But like, if you stub your toe on a kink in the rug on the way out, you're dead. You know what I mean?
he's gonna struggle to get up, and it's we can't win this.
It's a real Donnie Bird, bro.
And then he like turns and starts hobbling off.
Come back! I can heal you. Just give me time. Give me 6 seconds and I can heal you.
Are you taking any other actions?
Movement. He's got a standard action. Then he doesn't have any like potions or anything he can take, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. He is going to try and cast something. Not gonna work. So not gonna work. This is fine. He's gonna try eye bite just for shits.
Okay.
This guy's just-
He just barely made that save.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he's done.
And as you do that, like, the jackal like turns to watch you hobble away. And he's like, "Do you see, old man? Even your own people leave you. It's time for you to give it up." And he just begins swinging.
Don't be such a dick.
Fucker hit on a 2.
3, 4, 2, 10.
How?
So
So he says his piece and he just begins swinging like more ferociously than before, even with just this determination to kill him. The mercy that he has showed for you guys, he does not show at all towards Agma.
Oh, he showed us mercy.
Looks at chest. This is mercy.
looks at chest, looks up, sees butterfly. Is this mercy?
Yeah.
Devanya, your turn.
Sometimes death is mercy.
Not a whole fuck of a lot I can do here.
Agma said to save ourselves.
Fuck you.
Medicine check on Ancrium.
Okay.
Sure.
That's better. Yeah, you stabilize.
Aha.
You stabilize him to 0 hit points.
And then promptly going the fuck away.
Okay. You're only moving 15 feet?
Oh wait, I thought What's my speed?
30.
No, never mind.
I only move 15 because I had to stand.
So Turwin, you just see Devanya just.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Nope.
I've no more fucks to give. My fuck well has run dry.
Meanwhile, Agma's still standing his ground against the jackal.
I tried. What do you want me to do? Sing song him to death? Bore him with a boring song or story?
And Agma's like swinging with the sword, like, I don't know what you think you're going to gain from this. All you'll do is paint a target on your back. And the jackal's like, a target well worn. Uh, 15 be 650. Okay. So yeah, so Ankrum, you are stable with 0. You're free to stand up if you want. You're free to do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Right at the shield.
So he stands up. He looks at the jackal. Just raises his hand and he says, "Die." And he casts Power Word Kill on him.
The fuck? You have that?
Is he doing anything else on his turn?
Flipping him off.
Perfect.
Fuck you.
So as you say that, you just see the jackal turn, and he kind of just shakes his head. As he just strikes you down. And even so, as doing so, you see like the blades as he reaches his arm through this wall like hit, and you see the glistening of his skin kind of shimmer brightly in the areas where he sticks his arm through the wall, and there's no blood on them.
Vanya looks back and is just like, but I, and then just keeps going.
Karyana, your turn.
They give it a shot.
I mean, you get the sense that the jackal doesn't want to kill you guys, but he will.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah. I'm gonna go over to Ancrium and hold on. I have to reread the spell to make sure I can actually heal. Because I've never played a healer, so I'm just like, fuck does regenerate do?
Yeah, regenerates
sure.
like
Yeah,
the
it heals.
best
Yeah,
healing
cool.
spell in the game.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do that.
That you have an unlimited use of.
Yeah,
Have that.
that thing.
Why are we dying so much? Turns out our healer's not doing anything.
I didn't know. I've got no buttons to cast these. All I have is the
'Cause you're under-
little
you're-
information thing.
You're under standard. You need to be under combat. And then there we
What?
go, actions.
What?
Do you see it now?
You've played
see it
Caster,
now.
right?
I've never played a caster in this.
So
The only
just,
caster I've ever played is still only like level 5, okay?
Click that first plus sign,
Okay.
and then click the third button. So
Cool.
you heal up some of the wounds that he had, and you see his skin has sort of this like teal glimmer over him. Are you doing anything else?
I'm telling him to get out. If he looks like he's getting better, I'm just like, we're out.
You only used 5 of your movement, so I mean you still have more movement if you want to.
I'm waiting for him to go first. I'm going last.
Okay.
I'm the brave.
So brave.
You don't have to keep rolling, but because you're at 0 hit points, it's gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
But it's your turn.
Yep. He's yelling back for the other two in a very weak voice, and yeah, he's gonna double movement the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Can't catch up to you if you do that.
Can't hear you noping too hard.
You can only move 60, can't you?
Yeah, I was trying to zoom out to move the.
Damn.
He was super gone.
I can't readjust it either.
I canceled it for you. You can go ahead and redo it.
Okay. Then why
He
is it
about
still
to right the
showing?
fuck out of there.
Oh, there we go. All right.
All right.
Russell just didn't realize I was the healer. How do spelled good? I can't read magic.
I'm sitting here thinking Cliff didn't give us a healer because we're supposed to lose and he wants us to go quick. Nope.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Too.
I wouldn't do that.
Fuck the wood.
28,
Would we have had a chance? Maybe.
No.
Now?
No. We wouldn't have had a chance. Are you kidding me?
And as you
I
guys
are
look
bad
back,
at game.
as you guys look back, you basically see like all of the cuts and everything that the jackal had at this point are completely gone.
No, never mind. We don't have a chance.
Devanya, your turn.
No, just run.
I'm trying to see if there's anything that I can do to help you guys more.
Run.
It's pretty helpful.
I'm gonna do a bardic inspiration on Kariana or whoever the hell the healer is,
Okay.
and then run.
Okay.
Who knows?
Thanks.
And at this point, you see Agma is like every swing is labored and forced at this point. But he's still swinging with all his might.
Yeah, he is.
Jesus. I love just seeing the shadowed like garbage dump truck full of dice.
I like seeing it unless it's against me.
And with that last swing, the jackal like steps into the swing, and you see his sword get caught kind of in his collarbone. And as he does, he grabs the life cutter from just underneath the blade, tips it upside down, and shoves it upward into his sternum. And lifts him up into the ground. And as he does, you guys feel this emptiness rush over your body. The inspiration that you felt, that you gave, fades. You hear the flickering of magic as you see the blade wall comes shattering down like broken glass. You start noticing all around you these tomes and scrolls that are floating, flop and hit the ground, and you just start hearing the sound of thuds. Everything around you grows dim. And the jackal throws down the body of this elf. I'm sorry that it had to come to this. But you possess the knowledge that I need. And Agram is kind of laying there bleeding. What will you do with such power? And he grabs him, and he picks him up and leans him forward, and he has his face like right by the blade of the life cutter. I will use what you know, and I will dethrone every god. And I will send their portfolios crashing down for someone new to claim. And as he does it, he grabs the tip of the blade and he grinds his face against it. And he just drops his body. He was just laying there, and all the blood is just gone, soaked up into this life cutter that is just humming with power. And the jackal strikes it to the ground again, and the blade cuts back in. And he slowly starts turning around and walking towards the door. What are you guys doing at this moment? Are you guys all still running, or what are you guys doing?
Acrium was never running.
I was helping him back to his feet, if anything. Just like, come on.
Terwin is like turning around as he witnesses. He's just shouting at everyone else to come on, let's go. Like he's really trying to get everybody to get the fuck out while he's running.
Acrium's going over to Ogma and just
No, he's not. I'm
wanting
forcing him
to-
the other way.
I'll do a strength check, but
I will fight
it's
it.
not gonna end well.
Do you want me to fight it?
Do it. It's not gonna do anything.
Oh my god. What the fuck is this?
So he's like trying to run over to his body, and she's like grabbing him from the waist, like behind. He's like, no, let me go. And
Told us to run. We're leaving now.
in the jackal, he just like walks around you guys and just keeps walking. And he kind of looks at you as he passes. I understand your anger, your confusion, your frustration. But I assure you, this was the only option. You see the way he treats even his closest of friends. You're little more than slaves to him. Why do you hold his teachings, his words, his thoughts so dear? And he's saying this like to you, like Ancrium.
I hold him dear for my own reasons. You came all this way to kill him for the same knowledge that he gave me.
No. The knowledge that he gave you was tainted by his own short sight. He may have named the cosmos, but he did nothing to improve it. He gave labels, he passed judgments. He said what was good and what was bad. All the while, he sat here on his throne, watching. When there was war, when there was famine, when there was death, Where was he? Here. And he continues walking, and he walks over to the robes that he dropped, and he puts the rope back up and ties it. And you see him like start walking over to one of the bookshelves, and he's just like searching through these bookshelves. And after a few minutes, if you guys are just sitting here like watching what's going on at this point.
No, nope, the fuck out already.
Oh, you're out? All right.
I'm
being
trying to get
forced out.
Ancreum out, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a choice in that matter.
We can take our revenge later, let's go.
And what about Devanya?
I was trying to think of a way to do a thing, but I don't think I can do it.
What's that?
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
Oh my god.
Trying to do something to attack the pillars to collapse the ceiling.
As you try doing that,
Oh, no.
you realize you have absolutely no power.
Oh, good.
For all intents and purposes, you guys are just common mortals at this point.
Then
Ew.
at that point, she's running the
There goes my idea of using regeneration on Agma. It's not happening.
Yeah, and like that shimmer that that Ankrium had like over his body, like
God, am I
faded.
dead?
You're not dead, but the regeneration effect that's on you is gone. And the jackal continues searching through, and eventually he finds this giant silver scroll that's rolled. And as he opens it, it's completely blank. And he begins reciting these phrases over and over again. And as he recites it, these words begin to scroll out on the paper. And you guys on the outside of this building, the outside realm of where you're at, you're basically on this floating pillar of earth with this large 120-foot library in the middle of it. And everything is floating through magic. The skies course with purple, and the clouds rush far faster than they should be able to. And as you guys walk out to the little courtyard that's out there, you see the guards that were there all slain. And as the jackal begins saying these phrases, you're hearing his voice booming from inside of this library. And as you guys try using your powers to leave like you normally would, nothing happens.
I don't want to live on this plane anymore.
Let's see what we can do here.
I got nothing.
Guess roll an insight check to see if there's another way to get off of here without using our own powers. Nope.
Not that you're aware of.
What's any bright ideas?
Even if you guys were to go to like the edge and look down, like there's just nothingness. Like everywhere you look is just like a purple void with clouds above you and nothing below.
Yeah, Ankrium throws his sword on the ground and he sits down and he looks at everyone and he kind of gives a half smile and like, it was good seeing you all again.
Okay, we have to figure out how to get out of here. We have to go and warn somebody of what's coming, see if there's anything we can do to help, because with the knowledge that that thing is amassing, like I don't know. I don't know what he's planning, but it's not good. So think, how else can we get out of here? We have to get the message out.
We jump. No.
Oh no.
Oddly enough, that would be a line that she would probably say too, given her.
Kariana, do you?
Kariana's
Brave.
just
You
like,
want-
silent. She's just shaking her head the entire time, but she's just looking for any detail she could have missed outside that could be just a clue of how the hell they get out of there. Just like looking around, like, is there anything I'm missing? Is there just some secret magic elevators? There's just she's just
Magic
looking
elevator.
around, just like,
And you guys stop hearing the sound of the jackal's voice boom, and almost as soon as his voice stops, everything starts to tremble.
We need out. We need out right now.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No. No.
Okay.
Uh.
Are there any other gods that these four serve or know of?
So there's no other god that they serve, but Agma's closest companions, I don't even know if you'd call them friends, but closest associates,
Yeah.
would be Mealy, Denier, and Gond. All four of them basically made up the deities of knowledge and invention.
Okay, if we all come together, we call out to one of the three mentioned. Maybe they can pull us out of here.
And that being with us.
I don't know if they'll hear us, but we can try. Oops.
All we can do is try. What's the worst that could happen?
So is anyone I mean, I'm proficient in religion, but does anyone want to assist?
You can, if you guys all lock hands and begin chanting, you can just assume you can do that with advantage.
Okay.
Cool.
Is anyone better than a +9 before I roll it?
I believe you have the highest in religion.
God damn it. All right.
I got +1.
You guys start chanting and calling out for these gods, and like Mealy, Denier, Gond, if you hear us, please, if there was ever a time that we needed you, now is that time. And you guys are just chanting this, and as you do, your chant is interrupted by the jackal, who is now standing just a few feet from you guys. Don't worry. They are all on my list. Although, I'm not sure that Denier or Gond would even object to what happened here today.
Damn.
You see, they were treated as lesser. He thought that Denier's quest for invention was immature, and that Gond was little more than a glorified blacksmith. And though I'm sure Mealy will write a song of sorrow about these days. When we look back on the history, this will be the turning point for the betterment of all of the cosmos. I give you two options. Pledge yourself to me. Continue your quest for knowledge. Or die.
Vanya just kind of stands up. Like we're near like an open area, like next to the ledge, right?
Yeah.
Vanya kind of looks up at him, just square in the face, and says, "I would rather die than serve you," and like steps backwards and just falls off the edge.
Yeah, and you guys hear her screams just trail off into nothingness.
Terwin the Devout was devout to this Agma person.
He was devout to Agma's teachings, yes. He was devout to the wisdom that Agma spread, but Agma was the only deity he'd ever served.
And with that, he's still like holding hands with the other two, and he just kind of like squeezes it, stands up, and starts taking steps back. Looks at them one more time, and then he just falls backwards.
He's here.
I'm still falling.
I was falling for 30 minutes.
And he looks over to Ancrium.
Looks over to Cariana and doesn't pick up his sword. He looks like he has tears in his eyes still and looks sorry for what he's about to do, and walks over to the jackal and holds out an arm to him.
And as you do, he kind of grabs your hand and like pulls you to the side of him, and he just holds you there. And he reaches the other hand out for Cariana.
Didn't fucking do it.
What is it you plan on doing?
I plan on redistributing this power. The knowledge that I have from Agama's portfolio, I now know where all of the gods sit, how to get to them, and what their weaknesses are. As I said before, my plan is simple. The gods have sat along idle for too long, doing nothing to help the people that they get their power from. My plan is to redistribute these portfolios and allow someone new to claim the power and see if they do a better job.
He called us here to help. To step in, to make a difference.
No, he called you here to save his books and his relics and his rarities. He doesn't care about anything else. If he cared, he would have left his polished throne and came to assist you instead of calling you all the way here. Don't be fooled by his illusion. It's not you that he cared about. It's this is what he cared about. And he like gestures towards the library.
What happens with the library?
The library, regardless of your decision, will soon crumble. This entire realm will collapse upon itself. The only thing that was keeping this stable was Agram. The only thing that he loved was this place, which is why he never left it. He devoted his power to keep it afloat. In the next few hours or days, this will be no more. This will be a forgotten memory of the cosmos.
I understand. And with that, she's going to charge forward and stab Ancrium.
Oh. Traitor ass bitch.
Go ahead and make attack roll against him.
I still have him targeted from healing his ass.
Go ahead and do damage.
It's not much, but
Ow.
So as you
hopefully
charge
he's
forward,
like close enough to an edge. I can just like push him off while I do it, but I don't think that's.
no, so the jackal is standing like you're closer to the ledge than the jackal was, so you charged away from it. So you charge forward, and as you pull your sword to stab him, you feel it just barely connect, and as it does, the jackal and Ancrium both disappear. And you are now standing there alone on this island that is crumbling at your very feet. And with that, what I want you guys to do is to, this is going to be a kind of an on-the-spot thing. Think of a name and a race. John, go.
No other information, huh?
Nope.
Name and race.
Yep.
Trixie the Tabaxi.
I love Tabaxi.
And female, I assume?
Sure.
I'm asking, I'm not telling.
I know, yeah. Name like that, I guess so.
Okay. All right. Melissa.
Cairn the half orc. Cairn.
Male or female?
Female.
Goddamn Karen.
It's all your
Karen,
fault.
not
It's all
Karen.
your fault, Karen.
My God, it's Karen, not Karen.
It's all your fault, Karen.
Ah.
Nah, how do you like it, motherfuckers? Making fun of names.
Fuck off. What was it, Ned?
Ned.
Ned.
Sin.
Jonto, what's it called? Triton.
Male or female?
Male.
And Jake.
Farthen the Gith.
How do you spell that?
It's Gith. Oh, you mean the name?
Yeah.
Far. Thin.
Male or female?
Male.
Okay. So, Trixie, Cairn, Jonto, and Farthen? Is that what you said it was?
Yeah. Actually, can I make him or can I make them non-binary? Better yet.
You sure can.
Awesome.
Which Gith kind of are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Y'all going for fancy races? I'm just like,
I had to look them
So,
up.
the four of you along with a small handful of others, are farmers. And you live in a small town that's not even on most maps. You guys live in the southern area of Aniratima, which is on Argus. Trixie the Tabaxi. What is Trixie's life ambition other than farming, obviously? Like, what does she want to do other than be a farmer?
To get out of the life of farming and just be rich. Whatever else comes after doesn't matter.
All right. And would you say that she is a kind-hearted person, or would you say that she is more of a do whatever it takes kind of person?
Do whatever it takes.
And Melissa, what is Cairn's life goal other than being a farmer?
Oh, if Karen's smart enough to find to have a life goal other than maybe fight more, drink more.
I mean, and if their goal really isn't anything beyond just being a farmer, like if they're just happy with that, a mundane life like that, I mean, that's perfectly fine too.
I don't know if she's happy with it, more of if she just doesn't know what else is out there.
Okay. But she likes to fight and drink.
Yes. Bar fights, man. They're a lot of fun. Smashing chairs over people's heads? Yeah, let's go.
And what about Jonto?
Expand the village that he's in, make it better than what it is, put it on the map.
So noble.
Right?
What?
Yeah, he's a good guy. My first one.
Can you be a good guy?
That's not
I'm trying.
Wait, what? I am confused.
And what about Farthen?
What the hell were they called? Single goal of eliminating the illithid that had enslaved their family for generations.
So this illithid, does it still have any sort of control over Farthen, or?
They managed to escape, but still holding their immediate direct family.
Okay.
So trying to free them first, but I'm imagining they're not contained within the main fortress that this illithid hold, but kind of their slave labor off in another camp, but they may not know that.
Okay. So all they know is the last time they seen their family, they were alive, enslaved, and their goal is to, what are they trying to save up enough money to get something together, or?
Trying to just learn how to take down the illithid to defeat them.
Okay. So, this is about 3 years after the incident with Orcus. Even as far-reaching away from Amethil that you guys are, about as far to the southwest as you could get away from Amethil. The effects of what happened reigned across the globe. Cataclysms opened all over. Demons were present. even in your guys' small little farming community, you lost a lot of people. And with that, you guys have to take turns, shifts if you will, of going out and hunting your own food, as it's too dangerous to send one person. So on this day, it is the 4 of your turn. 3 years ago, you guys were complete strangers. But today, you know each other well enough to be able to hold a conversation if you wanted to. Whether you like each other or not, that's up to you. But you know of one another enough to be able to work together as a decent enough hunting party to be able to take down, deer or wolf. Some people from your camp have even gone as far as being able to take out bears. But it's your turn. So you guys are out in the woods hunting, and you are on the trail of a giant elk. Who is leading the hunting party?
I will.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right. So Karen is guiding everybody following this trail. And you guys are in the middle of the woods, and you have tracked it back to this small little cave. And Karen believes that the elk went inside that cave. So how are you directing everybody?
Never said Karen was smart. I said Karen was leading.
That's perfectly fair.
She's gonna point to the cave. Elk in there. You, and she's gonna point at Trixie and be like, "You quiet. You go in there. Sneak and tell us if it's there."
Didn't consider have to like RP a female. She just kind of like tilts her head and then shrugs, and then just starts like on all fours, like stealthily going into the cave to take a look around.
Give me a 20 roll. No modifier.
Okay. She is the sneakiest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the minute Trixie is like 3 steps into the cave, Karen's just like, "Is it there?"
And what is Jonto and Farin doing while Trixie is stealthily going into the cave?
Jonto holding his weapon with like both hands shaking, hiding behind this half-orc, and it's like peeking around her, making sure nothing jumps out.
Farthen's like following from behind, like not really saying a whole lot, like not really wanting to get messy, so just kind of like waving away at any like vines or anything that might be in front of them, like not bothering to even like step over a log, like using their psionics to just kind of like gross and just pick it up and move it over.
So as you guys start approaching, from behind you, you hear this clatter. And as you turn around, you see this huge divot in the ground where you guys were just standing moments ago. And inside of this divot, there is a robed figure with a golden mask in the likeness of a jackal. And he is holding on to something, like in a hug position, laying on his back. And there is just smoke bellowing off of him.
Anto has his sword out, but he is not looking. He's like, oh, God, what is it? Did something find us?
Shiny face, who are you?
Did Trixie go into the cave already, or?
Yeah, like as you walked into it, I mean, you would have heard this thing as it hit the ground. I mean, it hit with a loud explosion.
Does she see anything before she comes out?
Well, as this impact hits, would she have tried to keep looking inside, or would she have immediately focused her attention backwards?
No, out of curiosity, she would have immediately darted back to see what the fuck that was.
Okay. So then, no, she doesn't really notice anything inside. She doesn't really give a thorough look or anything.
Okay.
And as you get back over there, you see the same thing that they do.
And she's gonna go up and start sniffing it.
Well, I mean, as you like get closer, like you feel heat like radiating off of this creature, and anybody who is mildly intelligent would probably make the assumption that it just fell from a great distance. And as Karen says, "Shiny face, who are you?" You kind of hear this groan as the figure sits up, still sitting on the ground in this divot, and he looks up, and he kind of tilts his head, and he looks at Trixie, who's like sniffing around. You're in luck. And he stands up, and he dusts himself off, and he kind of limps his way out of the hole, and he sees all four of you. He's like, oh, the lot of you. You're all in luck. Have any of you ever wanted power far beyond what you've ever seen in your mundane lives?
Karen just blinks dumbly. Just like,
Farthen like looks up and like stands forward like pretty aggressively, like pushing past everyone else, and be like, "What power do you have to give?"
I like this one. I have power that you probably couldn't even comprehend, but I hold this power quite dear. If you had an infinite amount of power, how would you use it?
Would free my family and slaughter every last one of the Earthed.
And you, Tabaxi, if you could have anything in this world, power, riches, how would you use this power?
She looks like she's trying to say something. The rest of them would know that she is basically mute and can't speak.
And he walks up and he like places his hand like underneath your chin, and you hear this voice inside your head. Maybe this will make the communication easier.
And she looks startled, but then kind of relaxes and says, I want to know what it feels like to not want again. And I want that for others.
And he like looks over at the other three. You seem noble. Do your companions share this nobility?
She looks back, then looks back at him and just kind of like nods. I don't think she understands what that word means.
Okay.
Karen does not understand. If this was, I know it wasn't out loud, but if it was, Karen would just be like nodding, like,
So he's like locked in a gaze, having this telepathic conversation with Trixie. Does anybody say anything while this is going on? Or are you all just kind of watching in confusion and amazement?
Karen is like going between watching and then looking back at the cave, and then watching and then looking back at the cave, like, well, there's food there.
Jonto's like scuffling behind Karen as she keeps going back and forth.
It's not Karen. Damn it.
You gotta put the accent on the other syllable.
It's just Karen. Karen.
Like if her name was Karen, but she was from Texas.
Karen.
Karen.
My name's Karen.
Just Karen. What were you gonna say, Jake?
I think just kind of like, again, like pushes through everyone, and like, kind of gets behind, like gets into the gaze of the jackal, and just says, "What's your price?"
And the jackal sort of looks at you, and then telepathically he looks back at he looks back at Trixie and he says, "Is this one a good person?"
I don't know very well, but good to me.
My price, you ask. What are you willing to pay?
Well, that all depends on what you find valuable.
I find loyalty and honesty valuable.
Well, that I have in spades.
Of your friends here, less yourself. Who is the most deserving of power and who is the least deserving?
Other than myself? Think the quiet one would do well with a bit of confidence and power. The other loud one, less so.
Oh, damn! Fuck you too.
And you, Triton.
Oh, yes, what?
He walks up to you and he puts his hand underneath your chin. He says, "And calm yourself." And as he says that, you feel like this wave of calmness rush over your body. Do you feel that your friends are good people?
Yes, they have done no harm to anyone that I know.
If they had power, do you feel that they would abuse it?
Not at first.
The T kind of chuckles when you say that. Other than yourself, who here do you feel is the most deserving of power And who do you feel is the least?
Oh God. The most would be the one you came talking to before me. The least would be our feline friend. She has a eye for gold.
And you, as an orc, I'm sure in your blood you crave power. You crave strength.
Strength, good. Fight better. Fight
If I
better,
were-
hunt better. Yeah.
So other than fight and hunt, if I were to give you power, how would you use it?
Fight better, hunt better, help town. Drink more. Drink lots.
And he walks back over to Trixie and he puts his hand on her. Other than yourself, who do you feel would handle power the best, and who do you feel would handle power the least?
Gish, maybe? He speaks of family a lot. Think he may do well.
And who would you not give it to?
The one always hiding. He cowardly. Don't like him.
Like one vote for everyone.
I have a kind of vote. One vote for everyone, sure, thanks.
Jack is like, God damn it.
Ask the orc, give the power to me.
Gith,
Uh,
your friends seem to think highly of you. So I'm going to give you the choice. Which of these three die?
Without hesitation, Farthen like takes their sword like out of their belt and just holds it directly up to the orc's throat, not even looking.
she's gonna grab his arm and just force it down.
So yeah, so you do that, and as you do, he kind of steps in between, and he puts himself between you, the orc and the Gith, between Cairn and Farthen. There will be no need for that. I see your conviction, and two of your peers seem to think that you would handle power well. Would you like to see a taste of the power that I can give? And he's looking right at Farthen, who's not on mute. I heard it for a second and then it went away. Oh, wait.
It said, "Show me."
Okay, there we go.
You say, show me?
Mm-hmm.
And he turns and he looks at Karen and he puts his hand on her cheek. I'm sorry. And he says something in a language that you guys don't understand, and as he says it, she drops dead.
Cool.
Trixie looks horrified and just runs over and starts like shaking Karen, like trying to get her to wake up, and like tears start coming down her eyes.
Brothen just like looks down at the body, looks back up at the jackal. Just stone cold. Teach me.
And what say you, Triton?
And is he still calm? Like,
Yeah, he's still calm.
okay.
Like, unnaturally calm.
Looks down at the dead orc. Looks back up. Yes, I can use this to help. I can really use this.
For you, Triton, I give you this. And he reaches in the back of his robe and he pulls out this scroll and he hands it to you. And as you unroll this scroll, you see that there is this this harp image that's on there. And as you're looking at it, this harp is shimmering and almost moving while on this page. And as you're looking at this, he starts saying something and he puts his hand on your forehead. And the two of you that are watching this happen, as he's chanting and you're hearing his voice booming from all around, you start seeing Jonto's eyes light up. And they glow with this like bright teal light. I give you the gift of song. May it calm you. May it inspire you. And may it give you the confidence to make your life better. And he looks over at Trixie. Is Trixie still trying to like resuscitate Karen?
She stopped, but she's like, she still has her hands on her and looked at what happened, but like you still see like she's crying silently. And like with pleading eyes, she like tries to grab the jackal's hand to like put underneath her chin again, like he did last time.
Yeah, he reaches out.
Trixie make mistake. Should have said Karen. Trixie mess up sometimes, but you prove point. You bring her back now, right?
So sweet and so innocent. For you, I want to give you a knowledge, an understanding far beyond the short life that you've lived inside of this world. And he reaches back and he hands another scroll to her. And as she kind of like begrudgingly opens it up, you see that there is this like a candle on the page, and as you look at this candle, you see the flame spark up on it, and again the jackal begins chanting, and as it does, you feel this pressure in your throat, and it's forcing its way out, and by the time it forces itself out, it comes out with a voice as Trixie says something. What does she say?
Says, what? And then she's just like
Oh.
And he like straightens her up and like, if you want fame, if you want riches, I give you the gift of art. You will have all of the glyphs and literatures and paintings and everything that you could ever dream of will be at your whim. Fame and riches will be yours if you want. But I have a feeling that once you get a greater understanding, you will no longer search for such material things. And for you, Gith. And he reaches out and pulls out a third scroll and he hands it to you. And as you open it up, you see that there is a hammer and an anvil on it. And as the jackal begins chanting, you start hearing the sound of the hammer crashing into the anvil, just echoing through your mind. With this, I give you the portfolio of smiths everywhere. You will be able to craft anything that you can fathom, and things that you never did will come to you almost instantly. But with this, the three of you, your powers will be all the stronger together than they will separate. Tabaxi, what is your name?
And she looks like she's gonna gesture at first, and then she realized she had. Like,
He's like, use your words.
Trixie.
Trixie, I hereby grant you the portfolio of Lady of all glyphs and images. Triton, what is your name?
Jonto.
Jonto. Along with this courage, I grant you the title of Lord of all Song. And Gith, what is your name?
Bothan.
Fathan, I grant you with portfolio of Maker of all things. And if you all pledge yourselves to me, I will make sure that this power that you see here is all but a tiny sample of what's to come. And as he says that, he pulls the scimitar out and he cuts his hand with it and he stretches it out. And he's like looking at you guys.
Trixie reaches forward.
Jonto does the same.
This is Farthen.
So as you guys reach out, he takes the sword and he cuts each one of your hands. And he basically puts his hand out like this as you guys all put your hand on it. And you can just feel the moisture of the blood like reaching around each one of your hands, forming in a puddle in his.
Yeah.
And as you do this, you start to feel this power course through your system. And immediately, Trixie's hair turned gray. All these sounds and words and images are flashing through your mind. As you start thinking to yourself in all these different languages and seeing all these glyphs and images decipher in front of you, you realize that you have learned all the languages.
Damn.
Even languages long dead. Anything that has ever been written, you basically know it. For Jonto, you feel all of the anxiousness that you had, all of your uncertainties and doubts just wash away. And you start seeing ancient glyphs and start to think of powers and magic that has been long lost. And you can actually see the physical form of the weave of magic. As you look all around, you're actually seeing like magic. Like how it forms the trees and how it forms the people. Like as you look over at the jackal, you can see just the weave surrounding him and just how much magic is coursing through him. And Varthan sees like he starts getting all of these, or they get all these images of weapons, not only martial but siege and ships, and you get the images of mechanical creatures that you've never actually seen before.
Forged engines.
And with that, the jackal looks to you and says, with this power, you have also been gifted many enemies. Many of creatures and beings will want what you have. My advice to you, learn your portfolio, learn how it can benefit you, how you can defend yourself, how you can gain strength from it. And as you gain strength, I will gain strength. And in turn, as I gain strength, you will all gain strength. From this day on, the world will see change. And with that, we now cut from there back to present day, which is now 5 years from Orcus coming to the material plane.
We just made our own sub bosses, didn't we? There.
Yeah, we did. Fuck.
I didn't.
Melissa, just realize that if that is the case, that you're the one person that they cannot blame.
Boo.
Oh no, there's the boss of drinking booze and fighting in bars.
It wasn't Karen's fault. Oh my god, what a first.
Poor Karen. So as I said, it has been 5 years now since Orcus was defeated. And a lot has changed in 5 years. Kieran should have asked to see his manager, fucking Bob. Melissa,
Yeah.
what is the one thing, like one generalized goal that Vakta has been working towards over these 5 years?
Building up the kingdom and helping the people.
Okay.
Like, she's most likely just out there constantly helping people.
And like by helping, do you mean like physically, like out there, like nailing in boards and putting in beams, or more of like kind of like a, you have my full support?
She's out there physically, like trying to help farm, make sure people are fed. Like if she has to babysit kids so the parents can go do stuff, she's trying to do everything. She's just like, what do I need to do today? Let's go.
I really can't see Vardrock letting her babysit some rando's kids.
Oh, like she's gonna let him tell her what to do?
Well, he'd just be like, fine, but I'm staying too. And he just stares at the kids and they start crying. She's like, fine, we're not going to do it. We won't do it.
Yeah. In which case, Vakta yells at him, get the fuck out. You're scaring the kid. I'm trying to be a good queen. Go do something else.
What has Grimble been focusing on over these 5 years?
Typhoon is really fucking shiny now. Like,
That he's just polishing his gun the entire 5 years. Ha ha, wink.
you just find him like strung out. There's just rags everywhere. That's what you think.
Hey, Grimble, man, why are there so many napkins laying around? I was just polishing my gun. Like, oh, too much. No, I mean, literally, I was polishing my gun.
Look how shiny she is. Put it away.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
You want to see it shoot?
No.
No, we're good.
At least buy me a drink first.
That might upset Vardrock. I'm out, bye.
Showed up for you.
No, but most of the time he can be found like in the forge, and like as you like walk through the town, you're like just seeing every single guard has a gun, like all of them, and just bandolier of powder and ammunition, and like has trained all of the militia and the guard on how to use his boomsticks, and taught the like alchemist in town how to make the black powder and all of that, like giving them like a rudimentary set of skills for like the basics of what he does, like not teaching them all of his secrets, but how to give them like at least a solid defense that's not just bows.
Okay, perfect. And
I can be helpful too.
what has Batsu been up to?
Thieves Guild. That's it. Making it as big as he can.
So expanding the Thieves Guild.
Yep.
Okay.
Trying to get back all the shit that he lost.
Pretty much. I mean, he has to steal it back, so be it. You all know
And
that.
I think that pretty much covers everybody, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's about it.
Oh yeah, Kirla.
Yeah, that's right. And what has Vardrock been doing?
Been thinking about this all week. Basically, much similar to Melissa's answer. Like he's been really getting out there, like as where she's trying to get everything, I guess, keep everybody happy and everything. He's trying to continue to build things up. Making sure people are happy, telling, like, he will have like whole like campfire tales of their adventures and everything, and with like using his control flame to like illustrate what's happening and as he's describing it, and Billy, like he wants to also like to the best of the best of the guards and people that show up wanting to learn about his teachings. Like he's trying to reestablish a paladin order as well. Because like in all their travels, they've been all the way north and south and everything. Hasn't run into another paladin, so he wants to rebuild that up. But yeah, like just mostly just working on the city and making sure it expands.
You guys are like the Chip and Joanna Gaines of Amethil. But not all has been lavish and glorious over these 5 years. Each of you came back slightly changed from this battle with Orcus. Whether it be just the effect of being around such a pure evil, or it be the things that you have seen or the things that you have done, each of you is slightly changed, dare I say, for the worse because of this.
Seen some things, man, and some stuff. Wouldn't recommend it.
So Grimble.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
you were face to face with Orcus, who was targeting you. What kind of lasting effect did that have on Grimble? If you don't know, don't worry, I have ideas.
So you're talking like Grimble like stared pretty much in the face of like the embodiment of evil.
Yeah, I mean, you looked into the abyss and the abyss looked back.
I have a couple ideas. One of them would fuck me, but would be really funny.
All of mine will fuck you and be funny, so whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna say that Grimble's afraid of fire.
Okay.
Like, deathly afraid. Like, he sees a spark and he, like, panics.
That should be fun when working at a forge
with
all
guns.
Yeah,
in a
I
forge. Oh my god.
And, you know, firing a gun that's a cannon?
Yeah.
Don't worry, there's no possible way I could use this against you.
No.
And Batsu. Other than the fact that you are constantly on edge because you feel like there is this demon, this devil at every turn, over the last 5 years, things have been kind of weird for you. The figure from that card you've seen in dreams. There's been times when you were doing things just around Dracarius, and from your peripheral you think you see it, and as you turn to look, it's not there. But also, on top of that, what did you carry over from that battle with Orcus?
I think you might have to give me something.
Why would you say this?
Are you sure? I'll come back. Vardrak, you did manage to put Orcus back in the hole. But you also saw your friend, your new bestie that has replaced Divian, get killed and brought back. You've seen your wife, your love, get struck down and brought back. What kind of haunts Vardrock still?
I would say it's not so much the fight itself that took its toll on him, because he's been ready for this forever. Like, his experience would probably be the total opposite from everyone else. But everyone else never wanted him to come. Vardrock was like, bring this motherfucker, I'm ready. But it's everything that he went through on the journey to getting to that point, all the losses, everything that he was afraid of losing, the sacrifices, and like, now that we're at a time of peace, he just seems to be a lot more cold and less joyous. He doesn't like any sort of attempt for anyone to try to get close to him. He definitely cuts that shit off. He is good to his people. He is kind to them, but he does not let anyone in. Like, his defenses are up, and he's been very changed in multiple ways since then.
Yeah, but what's different now?
He was never cold. He was an ass.
So
Everyone was his new best friend.
So
Yeah.
you'd say he's more like cold and isolated now.
Yeah.
He went from being a puppy to a cat.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
a good description right there.
I got you.
And back to Batsu.
God.
that sad giggle.
Only thing I can think of would be he would probably be terrified of losing anything now, or if like any kind of loss to him, no matter what it would be an anger towards him.
So like a fear of like this impending feeling that you're gonna lose everything again.
Yeah, whether it be something small too, like even like you lost a bet, he is gonna be pissed.
Okay. So like the in regards to losing anything, like your only reaction to it is like anger then?
Pretty much.
So anger is the only response to loss. Okay. And with Vakta, when Vakta came back, you guys noticed that she had changed as well. She was much colder, much more menacing. And for the first few years of her being there, she had an explosive temper and would lash out on anything. And when I say lash out, I don't mean like yell and scream. I mean like violently lash out.
2 years? Goddamn.
And the crescendo of it was in one of her fits of rage, she killed Selfie.
What?
There was
Okay. I was not expecting Selfie of all people.
There was an argument between a few citizens in the shop that Vakta overheard. And when she went to respond to it, it basically came down to the patron was saying that Selfie shorted him. And she kind of copped an attitude when she responded back and basically demanded that Vakta do something. And by the time the guard seen what happened and got Vardrak over there, Vakta was basically on top of Selfie's corpse, pummeling it with her bare hands. This event was kind of the culmination of everything that had been happening, and at this point you guys realized that this was not just her trying to cope, her dealing with it, that there was something going on. So with getting Uathor and Zoomer involved, you guys performed an exorcism of sorts on Vakta to remove this curse from her. In the remaining 3 years or so since that has happened, Vakta has picked up her civil duties and tried helping out more and more because of this immense guilt that she feels, this remorsefulness. And anytime Vakta has to kill, she will suffer from great remorse.
Best assassin.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The weeping death.
So, with that being said, what would you say the main focus of the city has been? What have you guys been working towards? Has it been just growth in general? Has there been any focus on any specific area of growth? Anything like that? And you're all free to chip in on this.
Much bigger, like, town guard and militia. Like, Grimble's made it a very clear point of, like, the last time we got attacked, we got fucked. So he's, like, he's trying to get Vardrak to chip in to help pay for, you know, a more substantial guard and, like, town militia and everything, and have everyone, like, know how to fight. So it's not just left up to the few people who are there.
Batsu's been trying to increase the size. Bigger Dracarius means more sewers for him.
Giggity.
Bigger is better, is that what you're trying to say?
Yep.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, I would say three things on Vardrak's list. First priority, strongholds for everybody of his group that has stuck by him here.
So that I'm going to say is off the table.
Okay. Expanding the keep to a castle.
Okay.
Exactly what Grimble said. And are we going with the system where each individual like buildings and businesses and stuff like that have levels to them? Is that what we're doing?
No. So the strongholds
Okay.
and everything would, but the buildings themselves just have their expansions.
Okay. then yeah, just those two main things, like just expanding in general, keep to a castle, and expanding the military.
Okay. So the only thing you added to it was the keep to a castle then.
Yeah.
And Melissa.
I'm making sure there's just enough housing for everyone because I'm sure there's been some expansion, even with me being a bitch for a couple years. They can't have all moved away because of me. It wasn't my fault.
So that kind of goes with Sins just making everything bigger.
Yeah.
So give me something else.
I could do a different one if you don't want to.
I can't think of anything that hasn't been said.
All right, what do you got then, Sin?
Better ties with what's the other city's name? It's been too long since we've been.
Durian.
Yeah.
Bruh.
We already good with them.
We're so good with them as long as I didn't talk to the queen for those 2 years.
Or what if we, instead of trying to build ties with them because we're already good with them, what if we are trying to rebuild Sea Bluff?
I'm sure Batsu's gone over there to see if anything could be done. I could see him doing that.
So is that what you're going to say then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just go down my list. Melissa, go ahead and roll me a percentile die.
You're never good.
I'm never good at this.
Good today.
Okay.
All right.
And go ahead and give me one more. So, despite your little setback with, stabby stab,
Punchy punch, but still.
well, it started off with a stabby stab and turned into a punchy punch. And then a lot of punchy punch, and then a mushy mush, and then mashed potato face.
Oh.
I said I was sorry. It didn't bring her back.
I said my bad.
I tried to shake her hand to say we good, but I couldn't find her hand.
She was under her body. So, despite you guys trying to keep it a private matter and all that, the exorcism, the knowledge of that spread throughout the town. But much to your surprise, the people actually embraced that. And they actually liked you more as a queen after seeing this. Almost after seeing everything that you had to overcome to get to where you are and everything that you sacrificed. And in doing so, you built great relations with the people. Unfortunately,
I don't know how that works, but I'll take it.
Unfortunately, though, as far as building up the kingdom bigger and better, not a lot of stride was made with that. The first few years, a lot of it went to fixing the cracks and building bridges, and there are actual caverns and chasms in the city proper now that had to be dealt with and bridges built over. The homes that were destroyed during these events had to be rebuilt. So a lot of the time was spent rebuilding what was already there. Business was bad after all that happened. Trade came to almost non-existence for a few years there. So it took a while for you guys to get back in your swing. So you guys didn't see a lot of growth. You did see growth, but not a lot of growth due to all the events that happened and the fact that you stabbed the shopkeeper to death. That happened too.
We did manage to bring her back, though, right?
Oh no, she's dead.
Dead?
Oh yeah, she's dead. Your guys' focus was not on bringing her back at that moment. Your guys' focus was on what can we do to save Vakta. And the choice that you guys felt you had to make at that time was, we can either devote time, energy, magic to trying to bring back Selfie, or we can devote that same time, energy, magic into figuring out what the fuck is wrong with Vakta and how to fix it. And, of course, Vardrak chose the latter. So Selfie will not be making a return to Season 2.
God damn it, Cliff.
Zaza.
Don't goddamn
Didn't
me.
mean to do
Goddamn
that.
Melissa. Melissa did it, not me.
Sophie was Season 1, Episode 1, damn it.
Yeah, she was. She was old school.
You know who's left from season 1, episode 1?
Vardrak.
You.
Actually,
That's
there's a few
it.
people. There's a few people, but not many.
I was like episode 3 or something. I don't know how many.
You still old school. Grimble, give me a percentile die, please.
Come on, Grimble.
Rororagi. Not that one. No. Stop it. Where the fuck? There it is. That was great. Woo!
Wow.
What?
Can you re-roll that?
Nope, sure can't. Go ahead and give me one more percentile die.
Oh my God.
Oh, good. An even better sign. Eat a dick, Ty.
Oh my God.
Starting the season off strong.
So,
I don't know how you managed that.
Thanks, game.
So, due to this fear of fire.
Can I change my mind on that?
Nope. So due to this fear of fire, you struggled for the longest time to even get back into the forge. Just recently, within the last year or so, you worked up enough courage to get back into it and getting back into the swing of doing what you once loved. But your attempts to teach the guards and supply the guards were not that great as any sort of demonstration or anything you tried to give. You did very apprehensively, to say the least. So
Fucking drunk ass dwarf.
yeah, I mean, so the guards have the basic knowledge on how a firearm works. They're not all equipped with them. And I would say that none of them are really that confident in how to use it, but they at least have some sort of basic understanding.
This is better than nothing.
Batsu, can I please have a percentile die?
Do better than me.
Yes.
Either do better or do worse.
Hey.
And then one more,
Get
please.
Yes, those are the two options, Cliff.
Well, there's going to be more to it, but he started rolling, so I didn't want to interrupt.
God damn it.
So,
I tried.
Upon returning, hey, Vardrak, give me a 1 percentile die, please. Give me another one. That's way too close.
What?
That's better. So much better. So, upon getting back to the city, you started off on the same path that you left. And you were trying to steal from the people as they were rebuilding. And Vardrak ended up catching you doing this. And this was around the time that he was dealing with all the things that were going on with Vakta. And he kind of had a personal moment with you where he opened up and said, like, listen, man, with everything that's going on right now, you doing this on top of it is something that I can't deal with. So this is your last chance. Use this to do whatever you need to do. Build a thieves guild if you need to get out there and start getting things back. Whatever it takes for you to get over this, do it. But if I catch you stealing from my city again, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he didn't say it with any emotion. He didn't say it with any sort of camaraderie. And you basically just got the hint from that of like, no more chances. So with that, from that day forward, you started devoting your time to building the Thieves Guild. And rebuilding the area of the sewer that collapsed and getting an actual foothold into it. And started spreading out your connections towards Durian, which didn't really have a lot of luck with due to the fact that Durian has been in a sort of lockdown since the Orcus incident happened. They have closed trade routes and have basically stopped letting any non-resident within the walls unless they had some special business there. With that, you attempted to take a stab at rebuilding Sea Bluff, to which, by the time you got there, you were met with the Queen's forces, who were already in the process of rebuilding. So you did a good job of building up the Thieves Guild, but your network is basically run its course. You have a good network of inside of the city and connections, and you guys have ideas planned and in motion, but you haven't really been able to execute a lot outside the city due to the fact that there's not a lot outside the city for you to do right now. And Vardrak, give me a percentile die, please. And give me another one. So, with dealing with everything that's been going on, with Vakta's meltdown, with Batsu, with Grimble being terrified of fire, you found yourself sort of putting your personal goals aside at the sacrifice for your people. And with doing so, you haven't really been able to make much of a foothold in teaching the way of the paladin and training others in that way. You have the foundation built to get this started, but there just hasn't been enough time to be able to actually make a dent in that. But one thing you were able to do was to get the keep upgraded to a castle. More so for the city's sake than for your own. You wanted the city to have a proper castle because you felt the only way you'd be taken seriously as a proper kingdom is if there was a proper castle. So the castle's built, it's beautiful. The people are happier than ever before, given all of the loss that they've had, all the tribulations that they've had to muster through. Everybody's happy and things are starting to feel normal again. It's maybe not developed as far as you would have liked it to have been, 5 years ago looking forward. But I mean, given the fact that everybody's still alive, Orcus has been defeated, and the casualties of the city itself were very minor, given, the cataclysmic situations that happened. At the end of the day, everybody's doing all right. And with that, I'm actually going to call it for the night.
Hey, everybody's doing all right. That includes Selfie.
No, she's not doing that great. She lives on in spirit. Maybe literally. Bob, you're not missing anything because we're ending it. You literally got the whole stream. That's it. You're good.
You're talking on mute, Vakta.
I sat on my mic. No, his computer's off and he's like walking away. Like he doesn't realize that we're over and done. He's just
So with that, yeah, thank you guys for stopping in tonight. We're gonna call this the prologue episode of season 2. Next week we'll start up in Dracarius, and you will be able to see the results of what happened, good and bad. I might even leave a blood stain in the general store.
How about you don't?
Like a sign.
I already worked with someone to replace the floor and put a rug down because I'm just like, nope.
Vakta walks around where are you going? We can just walk this way. No, I'm gonna go over here.
I'm gonna cut between these aisles and take the.
But yeah, so thanks everybody for popping in here. I appreciate it. And with that, let me see who's on so we can do this. Actually, before I do that though, thank you to Melissa for the 13 months. Jake for the 3 months, Randy for the 9 months, and Fantasy Ground College for the 10 biddies. I appreciate all you guys, I really do. If you guys didn't see it, we have new cheer badges, so anybody that's cheered has the cool little Cliff coin thing now, and there's 10 of them I think I did for all the different levels, so if you want to spend a bunch of money and see them all, you can do that. You don't have to, but you can. We have these 4 emotes up now. So we got the first 2 are anybody who subs can get that. The second one is the $9.99 a month. Second tier one. The third one is the $24.99 a month, which no one's gonna spend $24.99 on this shit, I know, but I can use it, and that's what matters. So that. Next week we will have new Stream Loots cards. And I will have the interactions fixed. So if you play a card for like rolling all tails on the table of fate or all heads on the table of fate, I'll be able to actually do that. I won't have to roll it on the side, and you guys just believe me that that's what it landed on. So it'll be here for all to see. So that'll be all set up next week, and whatever the hell else that I decide to do between now and then, which could be anything. What are you guys doing? My peoples. Where's my peoples? Oh. It's not looking very good, guys.
Womp, 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 womp.
Hey. It looks a lot
I
better
give
now.
up.
Okay.
Good job, Triple.
Next week, Jake will roll phenomenally. What's gonna happen?
Are you?
Can you get more than single digits?
Like next week,
Yes,
though.
yes, I can.
Next week, though, it's gonna be like the other half of the die.
It'll be
gonna
like
be
the
like-
first half of the Orcus fight.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be perfect. So with that, thank you guys so much. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.